Good evening, fuckers. We are back with the next Train Simulator Classic request video. And this one is a request from Northlander74. And to put it mildly, this is a very highly modified version of the initial request that was made. Yeah, that is putting it very mildly. In fact, with one exception, everything was very specifically laid out. Admittedly, that one exception is a fairly big one because that one exception was the route. The route was left to me. Everything else was, yeah, very specifically laid out. So we'll go through what was included in the request. So the locomotive is a Class 60, and yeah, he was very specific about it being a Colas rail freight livery. Not sure why. I can only assume that he's as big a fan of the Colas rail freight livery as I am of the GBRF livery, to the point of near obsession. So yeah, that is the loco. The train is obviously it's a freight service, being a Class 60. We are transporting 20 JGA aggregate hoppers. It means that we are we are shifting a total weight of just shy of 1,200 tons, so it's a pretty hefty one. Now the specifics, it is autumn in a Class 60. That'll be interesting. It's clear weather, so at least we've got that in our favour, and it's 8 AM. So those are all the specifics that he laid. So when it comes to the route, that was entirely my choice. And it wasn't a straightforward decision actually, but eventually I came up with this one. So we are on the Midland Mainline network. Now we are starting at a location called Sheet Stores, which to be honest doesn't mean a great deal to me. I only know that it's just sort of southwest of the Trent Sidings. So when we're in the game, I'll bring up the map and I'll show you. You'll have an idea of where we are. Our destination is the Lincoln Freight Sidings. So we are going to be travelling a distance of around 41.5 miles, which for a freight run is not bad. But when I tell you that the original request was quite a bit longer than that, yeah, that's the understatement of the millennium. Anyway, that is the setup. Let's get this up and running. So here we are. So our consist is 307 meters long, and yeah, it was in fact just over 1,300 tons. So yeah, we've got quite a bit to go. Right, let's set the train up. So get ourselves into. Right, lights. Okay, we want those onto day. Tail lights are off. Instrument lights on. That is, I think, everything. Let's just double check outside. Yep, lights are all good. Here is our Colas Freight livery. Looks fantastic. This is the Dovetail Games Class 60. The Just Trains one does not have the Colas Freight livery available to it. Now, let's bring up the map. So this is where we're going. So we're actually stopping at the through line of Lincoln Station. Bit of a shame. It would have been good if we could have made it somewhere like here, but yeah, that wasn't an option. Now, as for where we are, yeah, we're right down here. If we keep going down here, you'll see the portal here for sheep stores. So this area we are on is the area known as the sheep stores, this long curvy section. If we keep going, here are the Trent Sidings. Yeah, so we keep heading this way. I think this is Eastern Down Sidings there. This may well be the here's Nottingham Station here, and then from there, yeah, we are making our way along the the route that takes us to Lincoln. Now, that particular route that has us going to Lincoln is fairly slow, but we're in a freighter train. That is not a problem. So let's get underway. Now, shifting this much weight, we are not going to be absolutely flying along. Max speed of this loco is 60. We're certainly not going to be doing that kind of speed. I think at best we will be doing 40. So that looks very much like a canal we're going over. I don't think that is the Trent at all. But yeah, our 20 aggregate hoppers, they are all full. So I definitely need to keep that in mind when it comes to yeah, actually getting anywhere on this run. Now, although this is the Dovetail Games Class 60, it has been enhanced somewhat by the Major Wales enhancement pack. I'm going to slow us down a bit. We are going... there we go. Oh, that was a big old bump. We are shooting along now as a result of that. Oh dear, I don't like the look of this. We've got to slow down without getting bumped from behind by any of this lot. Right, we need to slow down a bit, yeah, a bit quicker than this. We're not speeding anymore, but after that pretty hefty bump, yeah, I'm gonna bring us to a halt, which you do see freight trains doing quite often, so I have no qualms about doing this. braking strength. Okay, so now that we are at a halt, we can now safely release the brakes. Don't need to use the parking brakes. So this downhill gradient which we're on, which is pretty slight, 1 in 205, but it is enough because of the amount of weight that we are pulling. So let's get ourselves up to 30 mph, or close to it anyway. So we're definitely out of the sheep stores loop. Well, at least the loco is. The rest of the train is still making its way out of there. So I think we may be going over some of these. Yeah, we are. See quite clearly where some tracks have been pulled up. We are still accelerating very, very slowly. We're only on the 11% throttle. We'll soon be entering an 80 mph zone. There's no way I'm going to be going anywhere near 80 mph at any point on this journey. This rather gradual speed increase is actually working out quite nicely. So we are now well and truly in the 80 mph zone. We can pick up a little bit more speed. I'll get us up to 30, maybe 35, but it will almost certainly be 30. That is a really nice livery, there's no doubt about that. I do like the colourless freight livery. It wouldn't have been my first choice though, if it was down to me. Yeah, I would have chosen the GVRF one, of course. But yeah, the colourless freight livery and the GVRF for that matter are not available for the Just Trains 60. So to use either of those liveries, we've got to use the Dovetail Games one. But like I say, this one has been overhauled and features the Major Wales revamp pack. that is actually where I got the Colas freight livery and the GBRF livery, and quite a few others as well. And it does make quite a difference. It's yeah, if you've got the Class 60, and chances are you're probably a little bit sort of like disappointed in it, not least because it only has the one very boring livery, then yeah, the Major Wales revamp pack is well worth a look. So, we're approaching Attenborough Station, which of course we will just go straight through. The ever wonderfully sightful sewage works. I'm wondering if it means that there is a reservoir. It looks very natural. So, yeah, I'm not sure if it is a reservoir. So, I don't want to sound like I'm shooting my mouth off of it, but I think I am starting to get the grips with doing freight runs. And the key is, yeah, not to rush it. You've got to sort of face up to the fact that you've got to go quite slowly, and the object is to get from A to B. Doing it quickly doesn't matter. You've just got to get there. Once you have that in mind, you'll probably find you're going to do a damn sight better than you think. Now it looks like we've got a flashing yellow up ahead. We've also got a lot of very, yeah, a lot of FPS loss, because yeah, I did say I was going to reboot the PC in the last video, and guess what? I haven't done it yet. But here we are at Attenborough Station. I would not fancy living at any of those houses. Much as I like the railways, yeah. Having a station like that right outside your back garden, no, that's a bit much, that. Especially when you have this coal chute right here as well for loading up. I can't see where the coal is coming from. There's no sign of the rest of the colliery. The alert for the AWS, I saw the notification, but there was nothing there as far as yeah, no audio. Now it did look like there's going to be a bit of a speed reduction as we go over the points that are coming up. We need to slow down to 25. But if anything, we are picking up speed. Now, our current distance to, yeah, our destination, 37.82 miles. That is actually less than 10% of the distance of the original request. So here's to 25 here. We've got to slow down and hope like hell. I mean, admittedly, none of these yeah, none of these aggregate hoppers are articulated. So the big problems with the cargo flats that I kept having, yeah, that's not going to crop up. Nevertheless, I do not want to take any undue risks, so we are going to slow to complete stop. So some of our train may actually be in Beeston Station here. Are continuing to slow. So yeah, we will be stopping in the station. Needless to say, we're not picking any passengers up. Here we go. Right. We've just got a slight nudge there from the cargo. I think we can get back on the way. So 25 is the absolute maximum we'll be going for the moment. So anyway, as I was saying, yes, the distance to our destination is now 37.27, so that is less than 10% of the original request. I'll be brutally honest, when I saw the original request, the first thing I thought was, you are taking the piss. And I was actually quite relieved when I read if there's anything about this that, or it was something along them lines. In fact, I think he even said he's expecting there to be something in the request that means it can't be done. Well, in fact, there were two things in it that meant it couldn't be done. It wanted me to go from Birmingham New Street to Preston, which I can't do. I don't have that route. It's the part of the West Coast Main Line that I'm missing. The other one is, it's a lot smaller, but nevertheless, if you are going to Glasgow from within England, it takes you to Glasgow Central. But he then wanted us to go on from Glasgow Central, from Glasgow to Helensburgh and then on to Fort William. But I do not have any means of getting from Glasgow Central to Glasgow Queen Street. And that's the station that you need to be at if you are going to go on to Helensburgh. So yeah, that was another bit I'm missing. It does seem a bit ridiculous, to be honest, that I don't have the means of getting to Glasgow Queen Street from Glasgow Central, but it is the case. I can't do it. It is a bit annoying. So yeah, we are on this one here. It's a bit of a iffy bloody set of points, that. Anyway, once the whole train's over, we can then, well, it says accelerate to 45. I may take us up to 35, but I'm a bit anxious about going any faster than 35. The other problem with the route that he requested is that yeah, you saw that this consist weighs over 1,300 tons. That is way over the weight limit for the West Highland line, and yeah, it just couldn't be done. I'd be getting stuck in all sorts of places. But yeah, the total distance was over 400 miles, and I worked out, considering how slow you really need to go to be able to do freight runs safely, that it would have taken me a minimum of 22 hours. Yeah. It could have taken as long as 30 hours. Definitely need to reboot the PC after this run. Now, one thing that does really surprise me is that we're doing this run in autumn, which is when wheel slip is at its most likely, and yet so far we haven't had any, despite the fact that we are in a class 60, which is infamous for a lot of wheel spin. So according to our ETA, we will be arriving in just under an hour. But yeah, like I said, this is a route that I tend to take quite slowly. Well, I mean, this isn't a route I've ever done before, but it's a freight run. I do tend to take those quite slowly. It's it's a case of make sure you actually complete the run. Don't worry about doing it fast. Oh, Jesus Christ, we've got another 25 MPH section coming up. This massive loss in the FPS is really becoming extremely annoying. But I've got this far in the run now, I'm not giving up, so... I should have remembered, considering we are on a Just Trains line, so there's always a lot of trackside stuff being rendered. So I mean, the details there, details fantastic, but Jesus, so we have 25 and 15 limits coming up. We are going to have to brake. There's no two ways about it. And we cannot go any faster than 15. Hopefully, once we get through Nottingham Station, it won't be so bad. Okay, that's slow. If we can slow down to, well, in fact, yeah, right, we're all right for the 25 zone. So now it's slowing down in time for the 15 zone that's the big worry. Slow down a bit faster. That's quite a hefty amount of braking we're doing there. Got quite a big old bump again. I've really got to watch out for this when when braking. We're or it's rather when we're releasing the brakes, just as it was with the 66. I mean, I've got 20 of these things behind me. I did a freight run in a Class 60 relatively recently, and again we were pulling these aggregate wagons, and I was only pulling 18. I mean, alright, it's only a difference of 2, but it's still a difference. Doesn't look like it's, well, no, clearly it's not putting us through any kind of avoiding line. So no AWS while we are going through the station. So yeah, once we are the other side of Nottingham Station here, we will be able to get back to full speed. So this is Nottingham Station here. I mean, you would always think that Nottingham, with its history and the fact that it is now quite a modern, thriving town, you'd think it would be a great place to either visit or live. As we pass, it really does look like a Class 159 there. Let's wait for this horrendous frames per second to stop dropping off, but that does look like, yeah, 159. Yeah, so yeah, it you know, looks like it would be a fantastic place to live or to visit. In fact, it's one of the roughest parts of England. Nottingham is not a place you want to venture if you can help it. Now, of course, at some part of this run, we are going to have to cross the West Coast Main Line. Yeah, so we could, like, seriously hold up a good few passenger services on the West Coast Main Line there, because of how slow we're probably going to have to take that that particular crossing. So we're into a 40 zone. Let's get our speed up to 30 again. So we're approaching a 60 mph section. I'm not going to be doing anything like that sort of speed. Obviously, if this was a passenger service, then yeah, no problem. But it isn't. The other thing is, as we get further from Nottingham, the frames per second loss will ease up until we reach Newark. Then it will come back with a vengeance. And as we leave Newark, they will ease off again until we reach Lincoln. But the Lincoln one isn't. I don't think Lincoln is too bad. So I don't think we're going to have too much in the way of issues there. It's really, yeah, Nottingham, which we're now leaving behind, and Newark that are going to be the two bad ones. So what we got coming up next? Carlton. So we're actually approaching Netherfield Junction. Now Netherfield is it's actually another route. It's one that I don't have yet. The Newcastle, the Nottingham Netherfield network. It's a steam, well, I think it's set in the steam era, but of course you can also use early diesels. In fact, I mean, you can use any train you like, as long as it's not electric. But yeah, I mean, you use this class 60, I mean you could use it on there, but it would look a bit out of place. But yeah, that's a route I don't yet have. I will get it at some point. There are 2 DLCs on Steam that I'm after before I get that one though. But as with everything on Steam, I'll wait until there's a sale on. Especially as the only reason I'm getting those 2 other Steam DLCs is that I need them for 2 more freeware routes that I want to add. I'm particularly keen to get those 2 freeware routes. You know, to the extent that, yeah, I will buy these other Steam DLCs just so that I can get them. So Carlton Station has, yeah, very staggered platforms. Other side there, long finished. We even have the level crossing here before the platform on our side actually starts. There you are, there's Carlton. I'm more familiar with Carlton from the Aussie Rules football than I am Carlton that we've just been through. The Carlton Blues. I'm certainly not a supporter of them. My Aussie Rules team is Geelong. Seems to be a good number of level crossings on this route. Not quite as bad as the East Coast Main Line, but yeah, there's certainly plenty of them. So Burton Joyce is the next station. Doesn't mean a lot to me. I mean, when I first saw it, I thought it was going to say Burton upon Trent. I say we are going in completely the wrong direction if that was what was next coming up. We're on a very straight piece of track here. That's chance going up to 35. approach Burton Joyce Station? Well, if you're wondering what the hell happened there, basically every time we approached Burton Joyce Station, well I say every time, that one time that we did, the game crashed to desktop. Presumably because, yeah, it was about to load up a hell of a lot of assets, and because of all the slowdown that we'd already had, it was just too much for it. In fact, through the miracle of editing, I can show you exactly what happened right now. Doesn't look like they've gone mad on the old station platform objects, and something's fucked up there. So because of that, what I'm having to do, because I can't restart from Burton Joyce, it's not a starting point, we will start again at Newark Northgate. Well, we'll resume from Newark Northgate. We can carry on to Lincoln. It's not listed as a freight run, but as you saw in the map, it's just going to be stopping us at the avoiding lines at Lincoln for the freight run. So yeah, we're just going to be on the line right next to it, and effectively stopping at the station rather than on the avoiding lines in the middle of the station. So it's not that different a finishing point. So not ideal, to put it mildly, but let's try and resume this, eh? Right, well, looks like we have lost quite a lot of distance. 16.52 miles to go, but it was that or start all over again, and there was no way I was going to start all over again. So let's get everything set up. We're not going to start rolling forward, even though I haven't got the in fact we are rolling backwards, so let's start moving forwards, and I'll get the the lights sorted out while we are underway. In fact, here we go. Right, we are all set. So yeah, not ideal. In fact, while we're underway, so that's where we're stopping. So it's pretty much exactly the same place as we were going to be stopping anyway. So here we are. So it looks like we might actually be at the moment, yeah, we are on the East Coast Main Line, but we will be going on to yeah, the yeah, back onto this run. I'm trying to see how far were we from yeah, so there's a lot of stations that we've missed out. Not by choice, like I say, it was, yeah, really sort of had to. I've no idea why, it just, there it is. So yeah, that's where we were, and this is where we are now. So yeah, it's far enough. It's not ideal, like I say, but not really much I can do about it. So as we are going to be coming off the East Coast Main Line, which we were never supposed to be on in the first place, I think we're going to need to take it somewhat slowly. Oh, and I did also reboot the PC because, let's face it, it needed it. I'm not sure what the W stands for, but just in case. 25 looks like that is going to be the speed that we need to do as we join the branch taking us to Lincoln. It's actually faster. Oh, here we are, 15. That's going to be the speed. So let's bring the throttle back down. Try and keep our speed at somewhere around 15. Don't really want to be dropping too much below that. So in fact we are already off the East Coast main line now. Yeah, so there is the crossing there. So we are now joining on. That 15 mph could be, yeah, we're going over the points here onto the other side. So this 15 zone, oh there you go, we're now in the 50 zone. I was just going to say, there was no sign of the 15 zone coming to an end. So again, we'll take us up to somewhere between 30 and 35. yet another level crossing. Obviously, bearing in mind we are in fairly close proximity to the East Coast main line. We all know how many level crossings there are on that thing. So the ground around here is rather flat and a bit featureless actually. Something I forgot all about. Pedestrian level crossing. Actually, it could be used by farming machinery. If we are on our way to Lincoln, this must be sort of like fenlands that we are passing through to a degree, so it's certainly a very fertile agricultural land. Yeah, that one really did not need me alerting them that I was coming. I think we've got another one here. They're all over the place. So yeah, we still have our colourless freight livery there. Didn't need to change the loco. Collingham station coming up. We are now doing less than 30, so let's get a bit of speed up. Get ourselves back up to near 35. I don't really want to be going as fast as 35. Yeah, it is all a bit sort of flat around here. Oh well, so you're approaching a 70 zone. But, yeah, in a freight train, no can do. So here is Collingham Station. Jesus Christ, how many more of these are there? Huh. Look what's going up here. At least this one's a pedestrian one. As is that one. And this one. Oh, it's okay, that was a shadow cast by one of those bushes. So we are approaching a, yeah, the 70 zone. Well, we've already crossed into it, we're not entirely in there yet. Now we are. Well, let's go up to 35 then. At least we're doing half the speed. I mean, the top speed of this thing is 60 anyway, so yeah, the chances are we haven't got a hope in hell of getting to 70 mph regardless. Swinderby is the next station. We don't need to be accelerating so much now, we're at 35. Certainly doesn't take long for the speed to drop off when we are hauling this much weight. down to using semaphore signals. So here is Swinderby station. Oh, just for a change, there's a level crossing at the end of it. Lincoln is now less than 9 miles away, which would explain why we are starting to see semaphore signals. I wish we weren't, but yeah, we are. We are also going slightly uphill. I mean, it doesn't need to be too much to affect our acceleration rate. I mean, admittedly, 1 in 2,912, yeah, I'm not too worried about that. But earlier on, it was something like 1 in 300 and something. And that, even though that's not a steep gradient at all, it's enough. The speed is picking up now. We are approaching 35. There we are. Well, Northlander did say he wanted trees. There's certainly plenty of them. Not a hell of a lot else. The number of these things is unreal. The ground has now completely leveled out, it's completely flat. We are losing speed, but at such a slow rate, it's fine. Oh, here's a surprise. I think Lincoln is like, yeah, the land of the level crossing. Right, 6 miles to go. I really need to make sure I get the braking point right, because I don't want to be braking too hard, because I think that could end in disaster. But if I don't brake hard enough, we're going to end up going well past Lincoln Station. So what I will probably do is start coasting once we are, say, 3 miles from Lincoln Station. So we have Highcombe Station coming up. Getting, yeah, up to 39 mph. This is a bit faster than I really wanted to be doing. I wasn't paying attention to the speedometer at all. And there's probably no harm in doing, you know, this sort of speed. It's not like we're close to speeding or anything. Well, that looks like Highcombe, yeah, the platform for Highcombe Station on that side. So yeah, again, very irregular platforms here. Back to regular signals, not semaphore. I'm not at all sorry about that. Something you don't see every day. So you have a speed limit decrease coming up down to 50. Obviously we're well below that because of the train we're in. What's this we got up ahead? The 158 Southwest trains, and here we are in Lincoln. Try and figure that one out. Or was it actually, that might have been a Midlands one Their liveries are quite similar. Anyway, we're now 2.9 miles. Let's start coasting. Who'd have sunk it? Another level crossing. So, into the 50 zone. Oh, would you believe it? Oh, that's a speed reduction down to 30. And even though we're coasting, I don't think we're going to lose enough speed in time. Well, we'll give it a go. It has to go down to 25. And 25 could just be, well, it could be points. Especially as, yeah, it's going back up to 40 after there, even though we are just, well, 1 3/4 miles from Lincoln itself. So we are actually fine for the 30 mph section, but we are certainly not going to be fine for the 25 over the points there. So even though we are this close, we've got if we were on a completely straight section, I would give it a go, but we are certainly not on a completely straight section by any stretch of the imagination. We're going to have to come down to a halt. I mean, look at this. Couldn't be any less of a straight section if we tried. Waltham curve, yeah. Not a great place for freight trains, especially if they're being driven by me. Now, the thing is, even when we come to a stop, like we have, well, pretty much, here we go. As soon as I release it, we do get that bump. Apart from now, because I've mentioned it. Okay, get back underway. So we didn't get the bump here. So less than a mile to go. And we are on a 1 in 298 gradient. I'm trying to see if it's up or down. It looks like it's downhill. And I would have thought that would have meant we would have definitely got the old bump from behind, but no, we didn't get anything. Yeah, bloody cats are howling at each other outside. It's none of ours. They're all in. Right, what have we got up ahead here? Looks like it's another Class 60. Don't see too many of them as AI trains. But that is indeed a Class 60. Trying to see if it's a it's a Just Trains one. You can tell because it says FWS instead of EWS. That's them trying to get around the old yeah, licensing thing, the copyright of using the EWS name, so they just changed it to FWS. And I mean, to be fair, EWS can't touch them. It doesn't say that. Jesus, that's a long old consist, and those I think they're TEA containers. Yeah, there's a lot of weight in those. And that thing is shifting, yeah, plenty of them. Now, does that mean our signal is a yellow? Yeah, which is fine, that's what it should be. Yep, platform 3 it's showing. Right, so our stopping area is quite a short one. Oh, and just in case we've forgotten what they look like, we have one final level crossing. That 25 makes me think we are going over these points here. Yeah, once again, hazard prediction and all that. Okay, it's this point here that's moving us onto the platform. See, as it was originally set, we would have just carried on going straight. But yeah, here we are now moving into the platform. Right, that's because the signal at the end is red, so we do need to start braking now. Well, we are blocking a lot of the line, but nevertheless, we're here. Yeah, there we go. So, I mean, it wasn't a particularly, satisfying run because of the crash during it, but at least we got it done. So, you know, it could have been a lot worse. But there you go, that was sort of wherever it was we started. I can't even remember the name of it now. Somewhere near Trent. Sheet Stores, that was it. Sheet Stores Trent. To Lincoln, sort of. Right, let's see how we did. I can't really sort of sum up how well we did because it was a bit of a mess. So it wasn't ideal. Yeah, it says that we did a clear run there, but yeah, I did get at least two two speeding errors in the first part, so yeah, it wasn't an out and out clear run. So well, it wasn't ideal, but it wasn't the fault of the route or the loco. It was me for not rebooting the PC prior to doing that run, because yeah, the Midlands mainline network is an extremely resource heavy line, so I should have taken that into account prior to starting it. But well, there we go, that's sort of that video done, and we will see you at the next one.